Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 2Bob. My name is Craig, and today's topic is globalism. We're going to talk about globalism. Today is a beautiful day here in Brisbane. It's warming up to 22 degrees Celsius, which is perfectly normal for this time of year. So sky is blue, not a cloud in the sky. It's fantastic. Okay, we're going to talk about globalism. What is globalism? Well, I submit to you that globalism is nothing more than the universal push towards a global security system for whatever reason. Now, we can think of reasons. We can think of terrorism. We can think of climate change. We can think of the fear of an alien invasion. These are things that exacerbate the need for some kind of global governance. All right. Now, in the world we live in, we know that the world is passed into about 250 countries. All right. And every country is like a bone in the human body. It's interesting that the number of bones in the human body is very similar to the number of countries on this earth. I believe that God made this earth to be separated into these nation states. Every nation plays a role in mitigating certain aspects of the world's overall problems. For example, you think of a serial killer in America, someone who goes in and shoots 20 people in a shopping centre. Obviously, something like that is dealt in-house. It's dealt locally, state, and ultimately on a federal level, depending on the severity of the crime. So we're used to dealing with problems on a national basis, right? So what's globalism? Globalism can be thought of as a sense of anxiety. It's exacerbated by a sense of anxiety towards something, but towards the idea of something which overrides all our nation's security systems, right? Now, I did two posts, aliens in Area 51 and the mainstream media. Now, this video basically ties those two videos together because the reason for the Area 51 and the mainstream media and the way the mainstream media acts is essentially the same. They're being used by globalists to instigate a sense of anxiety, right, towards this idea that we need to be saved. We need to be saved by some kind of global government, and that's the real go here. So let's talk about aliens in Area 51 to recap that. There was a young technician by the name of Bob Lazar. He was hired by the government to back engineer so-called alien spacecraft. Now, there's not alien spacecraft. It's just an example of exotic technologies built by very clever individuals and organisations, right? And so Area 51 is just being used in conjunction with other areas and other organisations to create what I call global theatre. It's a theatrical effect where you have a vast cornucopia of sights and sounds. So you have aliens, you have flying saucers flying around. People are seeing these things. They're seeing flying saucers. But what we're not meant to see was the flying saucer and the two jet fighters flying in formation, as I covered in that video. We weren't meant to see that. We are meant to see the aliens zipping, the flying saucers zipping around, and the strange noises. We're hearing strange noises. We're seeing strange things. There's a YouTube channel called Slapped Ham. It's an example of a channel which exposes some of these weird and wonderful things. And what these things, I submit to you, all right? These things are increasing anxiety of the idea of an alien threat. Ronald Reagan appeared before the United Nations and basically said how quickly our differences would vanish if we were confronted by an alien threat. We have it right there, you know what I mean? So it's the possibility. It every time we see something which is out of this world, clearly something which is not out of place, sorry. And so people think, well, it could be aliens. There could be an alien hoax. There could be an alien threat around the corner. We better deal with it. So in reality, it's an alien hoax, but it could be a threat. So we need to put our national differences aside and focus on this global governance, right? And that's, I guarantee you, at the end of the day, the whole thing is just a hoax. The whole Area 51 alien thing it's just a scam to basically exacerbate our fear of aliens, and in turn it increases our sense of anxiety towards the need of having a global government system. Now, the mainstream media, let's talk about the mainstream media. I said to you, the mainstream media is a system of control. What's its purpose? It highlights everyday activities, so we trust them on that, but on the occasion it will present something which sustains our sense of anxiety, which keeps the hope of having a government system alive, right? 9/11, for example, COVID-19, climate change. These three things are instrumental in really keeping that sense of anxiety at a sufficiently high level as to justify the need for having a global government system. Now, what would a global government system actually do? I believe it would just absolutely destroy this earth. It would destroy our humanity. The worst part of it will just reduce our humanity down to that of an animal. And I think that's the ultimate consequence of having a global government. And we have to resist this, because even if they don't destroy our buildings, even if they don't destroy our gardens, they will destroy our soul, right, if we let them. So, a global government system. We can think of there's a critical weakness in globalism. Let's talk about that now. Think of the ship Titanic. You've heard of the Titanic and the story of what happened. The Titanic struck an iceberg and it sank, because the iceberg obviously created holes in the hull of the Titanic, and it filled up with water, and obviously the water caused the whole thing to sink, as you know. But what was the real go there? The Titanic's hull was split into compartments, right? So the purpose of that was to contain a certain leak, to contain the leak. So if there's a leak in, say, compartment here, this compartment would flood, and so it will protect the other compartments from flooding, and therefore that would hold the ship afloat, right? Now the Titanic sank. Now the Titanic was obviously built to withstand the first 4 compartments that are flooded. But in reality, there was 5 compartments. I heard somewhere there was actually 6. But that's enough. That's enough to flood the whole thing. The water's too heavy and the thing comes down. Now just imagine if there were no compartments at all. You just had the one section, no compartments. So if there's a leak, the whole hull would flood, wouldn't it? Right? It would flood very quickly. Do you understand? There's a critical weakness associated with globalism. If there was a global government, it becomes a lot easier to basically mess with us, to really eat at our souls, so to speak. And so, just like the ship on the Titanic, it'd be easier for the government, something within this global government system, to really get to us, all right? And so we need to resist it, okay? So in an up-and-coming video, I'm going to talk about 9/11 and look at that. Again, 9/11 was just an event which exacerbates our fear that we need some kind of global government system to protect us against these nasty terrorists. But in reality, terrorism is obviously a real thing, but it's best dealt in-house like anything else. Terrorism is just an act of genocide, it's an act of murder. All throughout history, we've been dealing with this act of murder, you know? It's all dealt in-house. You don't need... Even if 9/11 really was carried out by these 19 hijackers, 10 of them are still alive after the event, but don't worry about that. That's nothing, hey? So even if the official narrative in relation to 9/11 was true, then the actual solution is still just keep it in-house. Just deal with it. You don't need this government system at all. Just deal with it. For example, if someone from a different country comes into your country and commits a crime, as far as you're concerned, that they're accountable to your system of justice. And that's what typically happens. So there's no issue here. There's no need to create a global government system at all. It's just pure and utter nonsense. Again, I think did I talk about the mainstream media? I'll talk about it again. Look, I'll repeat myself. I don't mind repeating myself if what I'm repeating is important. So I'll kind of do a little summary of what I just said then. So there are aspects of our life. There are aspects, so not aliens in Area 51. Aliens in Area 51, and you have the mainstream media. Those two particular agencies play a phenomenal role in sustaining that sense of anxiety to have a global government system, because that anxiety against some kind of threat to the world as a whole, all right? You have terrorism as well, obviously, and climate change, because we're told that it's a world problem, so we need a world solution, isn't it? So I'm not going to really say that much more. I think it's a very simple concept, and the thing I really urge you to get out of this is just think locally, think globally, but act locally. Think globally, but act locally. You know, but I wouldn't even think globally all that hard. I would just think more nationally. You know what I mean? Think about your country and what you can do to honour your country. Now, you don't have to be rich. I'm not rich at all. I don't have that much money at all. You know, but I can honour my country just as much as someone who's rich can. So, globalism, it's not good. Okay, so I'm going to talk about instances where globalism is being pushed into people's minds. That's going to be in up and coming videos. Anyway, as I said to you, it's a beautiful day here in Brisbane. It's not a cloud in the sky. It's fantastic. So I'm set to enjoy another weekend. My wife has gone to a party. I'm here by myself in this house, this beautiful house. We appreciate that. We appreciate the opportunity to be in this lovely house. So I'm grateful for that. Anyway, until next time, I bid you farewell. I hope you have a good day. And feel free to subscribe if you feel a need to. If you don't, now the purpose of this channel, I'm not really that worried if I make that much money out of it. To be absolutely honest, it's more of a labour of love. I just want to inform the world. I just feel a need to tell the world what I really think. You know what I mean? Hopefully my family will watch some of these videos. At least they'll understand what's going on inside me, and I just need to open up and just tell the world what I really believe, right? And that's what I'm doing. That's why the channel is entitled To Bob, because I'm just giving you my to Bob on things, right? Today I'm just giving you my to Bob on globalism. You know, it's not good. So we need to protect the world. Think about your country. Find good things about your country to love. Love your homeland. And it's your love for your homeland that will obviously stave off globalism. Okay? So you see these little a flying saucer. It's not an alien. If you see a flying saucer in the sky, you've got a beer in your hand, just enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Just thank you. Thank you for the entertainment, but see ya as it flies on past. Anyway, I bid you farewell. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye now.